Love, Death, and Robots is back again with its third entry to the series franchise, the animated anthology series which touches on the themes of love, death, and robots. The series, to the uninitiated, is a Netflix show made up of usually 8 to 10 episodes. It's a collection of animated short stories spanning several genres including fantasy, science fiction, horror, and comedy, with each episode created and brought to you by different studios and art styles to bring you short stories based on the themes of love, death, and robots. Exploring stories such as alternate histories, post-apocalyptic worlds, etc. Each episode tells unique stories fitting to the director's taste, art style, and preferred medium, which can go from 2D animation to 3D, photorealism, or even stop motion. So, the episodes can be really stylistic if need be, and this season didn't stray from the formula. I'm going to give you a brief overview of what happened this season. If you want to enter this season blind, now's your chance to click away. But don't worry, I'm not going to touch on any serious spoilers so that I can still enjoy the series going in. I'm just going to give you a brief overview of what to expect diving in. So, if you want to know a little of what you're getting into, stick with me. I'll try to keep it as brief and spoiler free as possible. With that said, let's begin. Episode 1 is titled Exit Strategies. This episode follows a group of robots on their quest to do an in-depth survey of post-apocalyptic humanity after the robot uprising. Contains some dark humor. You'll love it. Episode 2 is a bit serious than the first episode. It's titled Bad Traveling. This episode follows a group of sailors or pirates trying to fight for their survival after their boat got invaded by a crab monster. It definitely has a lot more happening in the episode which I would leave to you to enjoy because the episode gets pretty gruesome pretty quick. Episode 3 is titled The Very Pulse of the Machine, the very more graphic animation of the bunch since the previous episodes were 3D animated. This is one of those episodes which really messes with your mind and will leave you thinking, what happens next? What did it all mean? What the hell did I just watch? Episode 4 is my personal favorite. It's probably the shortest episode of the season. It is titled The Night of the Mini-Dead. It's a short story which shows how a zombie apocalypse came to ravage the whole world. I like this episode in particular because of its style. Everything is miniaturized and small, and it's a great way of telling this particular story because just like the perspective we are being shown the zombie apocalypse, in the end we'll see that Earth is nothing more than a fart in the whole universe. Doesn't that make you feel small? Nothing really matters at all. Moving on to episode 5, titled Kill Team Kill. This episode has a more traditional 2D animation style for those who were waiting for it. I don't really have a lot to say about this one, just more gratuitous violence, if you're a fan of that. Episode 6 is titled Swarm. This episode kinda left me scratching my head a bit because it left me with more questions than answers. With these short stories, usually you don't question what came before because the story being told seems relevant enough to satisfy you. But with all the exposition, I didn't really get it. Maybe once a rewatch, I don't know. But basically, it's about a human scientist trying to harvest the technology of the swarm breeding to enhance the human race, I think. Episode 7 is titled Mason's Rats. This episode is low-key messed up if you think about it, but in short, it's a man trying to deal with a rat infestation.
Christ on a bike.
In Vaulted Halls Entombed. This episode is kinda like that Michael B. Jordan episode last season, whereby actors are actually playing the characters here. It's in 3D but the photorealism is so good. With actors like Joe Manganiello and Jai Courtney in the role, it's something worth checking out, just for the star power alone. Finally, the last episode. Episode 9 is titled Jibaro. This has to be the trippiest episode. If you hadn't said WTF while watching the series, here's where you finally say it. This episode probably has the best photorealism of the bunch. If it wasn't for the character models, I would have thought it was a natural recording. Maybe a blend of both, I don't know. I'm not even going to attempt to explain what happens in this episode because I don't get it. And I might even be interpreting it wrongly. But I guess that's the beauty of these stories. But I feel it has a deep root in its culture which I'm probably ignorant about. But to put it simply, a siren song fails to work on a deaf knight, which causes her to become fascinated with him. And yeah, that's it guys. Love, Death, and Robots Season 3. What did you guys think of it? This season has a lot of good episodes, and it might be a hot take, but the stories seem to get better each season. Some will leave you in a state of awe, others will really leave you pondering on what just happened. But overall, it's an experience, and I would like to know your experience down in the comments. What is your favorite episode? Which episode got you saying, what the hell just happened? Let me know down in the comments. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to the channel. And for another video like this, click right here. And always remember to keep moving forward.
Choke on it, skin bucket.